Hey guys, TheAbleGeek here, and I just bought a Super Famicom with the Japanese Super Gameboy attachment. We're going to connect this bad boy up and see how it works. I got this from a collector online. We're going to test it out for the first time. Make sure it works, make sure I didn't get scammed. What? Which I'm sure I didn't, but for any of you guys who haven't seen this before, this is basically the Japanese Super Nintendo that we got here in the US with the Super Game Boy attachment. This lets you play Game Boy games on your Super Famicom or Super Nintendo. So we're going to connect it, see how it works. Check it out. Alright guys, so I got the Super Famicom hooked up to my little TV here. I did connect it to this Retroscaler 2X to go ahead and upscale it and do some smoothing, and then we're going to be connecting, or actually just playing, see that can focus there? Not really, well, it's getting my face, but this is a King of Fighters 96 Japanese copy. So we're going to put this into the Super Famicom with the Japanese Game Boy player, make sure it works, test it out, and I'll show you guys how that looks. Okay guys, so as you can see, I do have my Famicom hooked up now with the Super Game Boy and King of Fighters 96 in there. Let's go ahead and flip that switch. And you can see here, it kind of shows you like a big Game Boy screen when you're using Super Game Boy. The American version is exactly the same as this as well. I think maybe color scheme might be a little bit different, but it's been a while since I've played the other one, so the American version. But here is King of Fighters 96. Always been a huge King of Fighters fan. And check that out, look. So you want to select Terry Bogard here. Yeah, and you're basically getting, you do get a little bit of a color scheme on there compared to how it would look on like a regular Game Boy. But yeah, that's it right there, guys. This is the Super Famicom with the Japanese Super Game Boy player, playing some King of Fighters 96 right here. And then you do get the cool overlay here, as you can see. It gives you a little something extra that you wouldn't normally see on your Game Boy if you're playing this on your Game Boy, but on the Super Game Boy it gives you this nice little cool overlay. So it's nice. It's a nice little extra, and you know, it'll look different with different games. And then you do get, you know, it's not in, you know, full color, but you do get, you know, some variation of colors there, some blues and greens. You know, up here you get your red and yellow for your power bar and everything. So yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little way to play some of your Game Boy games on your big screen TV or LCD TV, whatever you're using, CRT TV. And Super Famicom, again, just the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo. It looks like everything works. I'm going to go ahead and leave this guy some positive feedback. I just got this in today. I wanted to test it out and show you guys. So again, that is the Super Famicom with the Super Game Boy. Would recommend getting one, or even if you just want to use the get the Super Nintendo with the Super Game Boy for Super Nintendo here in the US. Works exactly the same. I just happened to pick up a Super Famicom because I didn't have one in the collection. So there you go. So there you go, guys. There is a Super Famicom with the Super Game Boy attachment. You can use a variety of different games on that Super Game Boy attachment. They all look real cool. They all got cool overlays on them, and gives you a little bit more of a color scheme on it, which looks nice. Let me know, have you ever used a Super Game Boy or Super Famicom before, and what is your favorite games if you have? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to reading them. Thanks, guys.